In this video we're going to look at rental inclusions. This allows you to include extra items in a rent package. Your receipts can indicate individual items or a consolidated description. It's a very handy tool for student accommodation and or aged care businesses. In order to set up your rental inclusions or your rental packages, you need to make sure that you have the available account codes. Under Setup and Account Codes, you can add in the ones that you need. As an example, I'm going to look at ones where we're setting up for furniture packages, for internet, for meals, electricity, or a medical alarm facility as examples. So add these ones in as necessary by using the Add option there and completing the details. The next thing that you need to do is to set up your default rental inclusion packages. In here we're going to add one in, and we give this a reference there. I'm going to look at this just as an example from a student accommodation. So we're going to look at a couple of packages that we can offer to the tenant, to the student tenants there. Our reference here I'm just going to put as package 1, and our description will be package 1 or rent package 1. We have the option to consolidate our transactions on the receipt, and by doing so and ticking that box there, we can see the description as rent package 1, and then we identify the individual items there. So as I say, this for student accommodation, we're going to have them paying a rent portion. We're going to have them then paying money towards the business or a supplier to have internet, a furniture package, and an electricity component there. So we're going to have all this monies come directly to the business once it's processed. So by selecting business there, I'm then tabbing to my description here, and we'll put this in as furniture package. The ledger or account code should come under for furniture, and we're going to base this, as I say, just on a weekly amount here. Include any GST as necessary, of course, and complete the other lines as we can see here. This one I'm going to use for internet access, and there we'll have one for internet, of course, and again based on a weekly amount there. And the last one I'm going to put in here is for an electricity component. And we'll just have them paying a portion towards electricity. So the figures I'm entering in, of course, you will determine based on the things that you're offering to your tenants and the actual costs of those there. So you can see here the three items that I've listed will come to a total receipt amount of $99, and this will be additional to the rent that the tenant is paying, of course. Save on that there. So we've got our rental package 1. We can add as many different rental packages in. So as an example, we might have rent package 2. So I've got a couple of rental packages there. We close out of there and go to our tenants. We go into this particular tenant as an example. Under the Other tab here and Rental Inclusions, we're now going to pop in our information. So we can modify the record. Now we can fill in all that information again, of course, or we can apply a default package. And by modifying and dropping down our list here, we can select the appropriate package for this particular tenant. So by selecting that one there, we're going to override any of the information that's showing here with the default package. If I say yes, you'll see here that it has indicated that we're activating the rental inclusions. We're going to consolidate the transactions on the receipt so it comes up as rent package 1, and these are the individual items, of course, that are extra to the tenant's rent. So the rent that this tenant pays per week, $555, plus these individual items, means the total of monies here would be $654 that we are going to receipt against them there. If I go up to here and save my changes, we'll have a look and see how that rent receipt looks. We go to Receipts, Mr. Robert James here, select. When I go to select the rent portion now, you'll see that it shows a base rent of $555 plus the additional charges here of $99, so the total package $654. If I select my rental package there and say OK, you can see then on the receipt that it will process rent plus the other three individual items for a total of $654. We'll select our appropriate payment method and save. complete our direct credit details in this case here. And the receipt that we see come up on screen shows as rent package 1 and then the date range from the 27th through to the 2nd of the 8th. If we wanted to see the actual breakdown of the information as opposed to just a consolidated description, we would untick the box in the tenant area. So we go back into the tenants there, to Robert James, in the other tab and rental inclusions. If I just modify and take the tick out of the box so that we don't consolidate the transactions on the receipt, we'll just process another receipt and you'll see how that looks. So on here now, with the tick removed from consolidate description showing, we then get the rent portion and then the individual amounts for those extra charges or extra payments that the tenant is making. That information, of course, we indicated will go directly to the business, the rent portion, of course, going through to the owner. So in this video, we've looked at setting up rental inclusions or rental packages. Same can be done for aged care facility as well, where you can set up for medical alarm facility or linen package or a meals package that may be included in the tenant's rent.